Hello everybody. Oh, neighbours. I'll have to talk loud because we don't have a...
Well, it's in the cupboard, get it?
Oh, okay.
No, do it yourself.
Do it myself? Okay. Like,
What is that? A toothbrush?
it's for putting makeup on. It's a microphone for his... It's a fancy microphone for his video taping thing. Okay, so... I didn't get a guest speaker. I've been really busy. Too busy for this lot, sorry. No.
You're back in your workshop here.
I'm getting back in, so I finally got access to it last Friday. Is it? Yeah, so last Friday, so Saturday, Sunday.
A week ago.
A week ago. Yeah, weeks are starting to run into months. Anyway, so yeah, it's like a month or so overdue, and we've got lots of things to do. So we've got probably 20% of the stock moved back in. And we've sort of changed, we've rearranged how the business is, but that's eaten up all my spare time. That and doing the eco festivals and all the shows and stuff. So that's why I didn't get a speaker. We was to be Nissan, but we left it go too late, and they couldn't organise to have anyone here to bring the new Nissan Leaf out to.
Maybe next month.
Yeah, maybe next month. We've got Greg McGarvey from ACV who is trying to find a meeting where the car will be in Brisbane and he can get it here to a meeting, but maybe next 3 months or so. Simone brought in some gear. Simone and I, well more so Simone, is heavily involved in the 2019 EV Expo in Sydney, so she's working very hard on that. It's with the Sydney team, so there's quite a few on the Sydney team. Is, apart from you and me, anyone else from Queensland helping out? No. We've had offers from some of the team to help, but they're pretty well right. And a couple of the Tasmanian guys are helping out. So that's it. I'll let Simone talk more about that. What we did in the last few weeks, because we've been doing these shows, and we sort of stood back and had a look at our little tent, our little market stall, and really it was pretty hard to tell what the hell we were. So we thought, well, enough's enough. So Simone organised these banners, the pull-up banners. We've got some what they call table runners, where you put a black tablecloth down. She might have one here. And you put this table runner over. And so immediately walking up to the table, you can clearly see what we're about, you know. So we've got 2 of these made up. And so yeah, so that's when you look at a table, that'll be hanging down the front. So you've got a bit of an idea of what we're about. So trying to, I suppose what we've been doing is doing these shows, but not really capitalising on why we were doing them. And at the end of the day, it's about building the membership, getting the word out there, and being an active part of the EV community. And we've done a pretty good job so far, don't get me wrong, with the EV Council membership and getting interviews. I've got another interview coming up. BBC TV want to interview me, I don't know why.
BBC?
Yeah. They said no, they're looking, BBC Worldwide is looking for stories on eco things. Worm farms, electric cars, solar panels, all that sort of stuff. And they're just ferreting through anybody that does this stuff. So they've hounded me for photos and so on. So see what happens. But I'm going to try to put in every time I do one, I did a radio interview for 2S something or other, radio station 2SM. And yeah, it was about what I do, but I always plug the EV Expo and the AEVA. They don't like it when you do that because they like to be controlled, but I'm getting good at slipping it in. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. Anyway, so to capitalise on these shows, what we need to do at these shows is really, what seems to work is you walk around with a clipboard and say, are you interested in being on a mailing list? If you ask them one-to-one, they'll do it. So this is what our function's going to be, and that's why these here talk to us about electric vehicles. They talk to us, hey, put you on this list, and we add numbers. So I think we added 15 numbers from the last show. So, but yeah, we're getting more and more people involved. We've lost our picture, Simone.
No,
Oh.
because it's...
Okay. All right. So therefore, I didn't send out a thing. I was just way too busy. Sorry.
But well done for all coming.
Yeah. If anyone wants to interest in stepping up and helping this admin team, that'd be really good, because she's working full time plus 2 jobs really. I'm working full time, you know, and we do the shows and stuff like that. Between me, Les, and Gary and a couple of the others, you know, Wayne's a great supporter, comes on with his car all the time, but we could sure use some more people. If this is what interests you, to come along. You don't have to have a car. You come along to the stall. You can just, you know what the club's about. You can sort of talk to people about what the club is. Otherwise, you can help guest speakers. You know somebody, just let me know. I'm happy for you, anyone here, to organise a guest speaker. You know a rocket scientist, please have a chat to him. Get him along here. This is what we're all about. It really is a learning thing, this group, you know. Anyway, so that's it from me. I will do a little bit of housekeeping. The loos are up there. Go through that door. Follow your nose. You'll find them. The Google group we have is for anybody. You don't have to be a financial member to be on our Google group. And all it is that when there's a meeting or something, I would normally send you an email, but I didn't this week, to remind you about the meeting and who the guest speakers are, or if there's a show on, and you know, to discuss issues arising out of that. When you're on the Google group, when you reply back to anything anyone sends out, everybody reads it. So yeah, just that's the only thing, is you've got to realise that everybody is privy to what's being said on that Google group in responses as well. Gary's got a show to go to. It's called the Royal Society. Would you like to?
Royal Society of Queensland.
Yeah.
Talk me the mic.
Okay.
Royal Society of Queensland. They're a group of learned gents. It's to do with agriculture, science, working on the land. So we've got a 2-day seminar symposium in Brisbane City, 1st and 2nd of July. I'll go along and man a desk, take a banner, and see what interest there is from a membership point of view and electric vehicles. I met up with the secretary guy at Chermside Greenheart Fair. He was there for quite a while at the Greenheart Fair. And Graham, where did you meet that fellow? Leaf.
Yeah.
Leaf. Yeah, that's where we stumbled across this fellow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the start of July anyway, Brisbane City. So yeah, I'll go armed with brochures and see what unfolds.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think these things are good because you're forging an alliance, or you know, sort of an association with like-minded groups. You know, it's pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, reading their website, apparently they have channels and some influence with the government, whether it's DPI, agriculture and whatever. CSIRO, whatever.
You can already get electric tractors. There's one on the market. Yep. So, and I since that show, since you're talking to that guy, someone from the Royal Society's been on to me about, hey, I run a tractor workshop down somewhere in northern New South Wales. Heard you guys are going to be at this show. Heard he told me about you, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he's talking about converting an old tractor to a full electric for one of his farmer clients, you know. So
I spoke with the fellow from Cairns, who was at our November Expo with the ATVs, the electric ATV vehicles, and Matt was saying that within the month or whatever, he hopes to have lithium battery conversions for his ATVs, which I think he said will take about 200 kilograms, 150 kilograms out of the weight.
Yeah,
So-
he's running golf cart batteries.
Yeah, currently.
Yeah. So essentially, that vehicle is just a better quality golf cart with off-road tyres.
He needs all-wheel drive,
Yeah.
four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he knows that, the
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
Actually, Costco is selling some electric four-wheel drive. It looks like a think about the size of a golf car, except it's a four-wheel drive.
Oh, okay. Costco do.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, fair enough.
the 20
All right,
grand.
thanks, Gary.
It's four-wheel drive.
That'd be what these would be worth as
Yeah,
well.
and it's and they're electric.
Yeah, but they'll be lead acid batteries, I think you'll
I
find.
have no idea what this
Yeah, yeah. All right, so this weekend on Saturday, I think we've got the Noosa EV Expo. If you can make it up, get up there. Simone and I will be up there with some scooters, a motorbike, so the Oz DIY stand, and also we'll be setting up the AVA stall as well. Wayne's coming up to show his yellow electric sports car again. You're going up? Yep. Are you going to display in the general group, or are you going to come over the AVA side?
I'll be in the runners cards.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah.
We've got a speakers session as well in the clubhouse this year.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's 5 of us doing presentations.
Oh, you're doing a presentation? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. Cool. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Talking about his ebook. Is that? Yeah. Yeah.
The global situation on it.
Yeah, yeah. If anyone doesn't know what that ebook is, John did an awesome, and he updates it regularly. It's a fairly substantial ebook on electric vehicles. Talks about all types of vehicles and even home builds and conversions, that sort of thing too. It's a big read. It's well worth reading. It's well researched and it's well laid out, and it's totally free. So I might even if we can put a link to it on the Google group. If you're not in the Google group, just see Simone. We're just going to give her your email address. We'll add it to it tonight, and from tonight on, you'll start to get emails and reminders about these things. We were still doing housekeeping before, weren't we? What else we got? We got T-shirts and caps, but we didn't bring them tonight because we got a bit slack. We're going to take them with us on the weekend. So club shirts like this, $23.50. Hats are $15. So next time, if you think of it, bring some extra money. We've got a cash tin there. If you're a member, it's $2. If you're a non-member, it's $3, and that helps pay for the hall and the lovely nibblies that Simone puts on every night, every meeting. The next thing is new faces. Who's new and not been here before? 1, 2, cool. We've got 2 people. All right, so if you wouldn't mind, name and what are you interested in doing? On the spot now, aren't you? Oh, here we go, sorry. I'm hogging the mic.
So I'm Guy, different name, I was born in Brazil. I'm a physicist, graduated physicist. I work as a optoelectronics engineer, so I work with semiconductors. I don't think I can design complex electric circuits, so not exactly an electrical engineer, but somewhat related. I'm here because I've been at your stall at the Green Heart Fest a couple of weeks ago, and so I searched for it. So I guess I'm interested in the DIY project. Sounds quite interesting. So
Yeah, you didn't talk to this fella here.
all right.
He makes his own batteries.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you're interested in putting the high-tech in, it's just he does a lot of high-tech. I do it very simple. But no, supercapacitors are very interesting. I watched the documentary on supercapacitors, and you can buy these little aeroplanes that you have a little supercapacitor in, and you hold a little battery up to it for a few seconds, the motor starts, and it goes. Amazing stuff. It's just a capacitor. It's not even it's not a battery. So and they're talking about big ones to jump start, like to get the car in motion. They use these supercapacitors because they charge up very quick and they discharge very quick. Correct? Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you knew about this stuff. Yeah. So I did miss your first name. Geek.
G-U-I.
G-U-I. Oh, Guy. Okay. Oh, Guy. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you. The other gentleman?
Oh, well, I spent most of my working life working on those trains that roll past here.
Hybrids?
They are electric.
And just get their power from dirty energy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But as a retired guy now,
Yeah.
it just sort of always been my interest to get into electric vehicles.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. People underestimate the power of an electric motor. They really do, you know. Yeah. So, yeah.
Talking of capacities, like a Peugeot, and it's got smart.
Oh, yeah.
It's uses a small capacitor, turning your alternator into a motor, keeping up its
Yep.
particularly when it's air conditioning. It says I need no power to reduce the start.
Yeah. Soft hybrid they call it, isn't it? That's the correct term. Yeah. A lot of cars overseas use it. It's only just starting to come in Australia. I think the Suzuki Ignis is another one that now has a 48 volt soft start, soft hybrid. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it also works if you want to pass somebody, you really press your pedal down. It'll actually help a little bit there as well. Yeah. Yeah, no, but a lot of the ones coming out now, the new ones, the whole car's 48 volts. Yeah, so that'd be something. I know the Suzuki decided to make it, which is odd because then you've got 48 volt light bulbs, and which is not such a bad thing, really.
If they're LED, it's not so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and you're thinking of just building a car or just?
Even if someone needs a hand,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do. Yeah, we'll get together at Tim's place and wreck a car, or my place, and we wrecked a Tesla X, took it apart. Yeah, it was an accident damage one, just took it apart to scavenge the batteries and everything out of it, yeah. And an AEVA, and I'm actually working on another story, I'm working on an AEVA myself, so, but anyway, we'll see how we go with that. All right, no, it's cool. Simone, would you like to talk about the 2019 EV Expo? It's going, if you thought our show was big, they're going one step bigger.
Sydney. So Sydney is the next EV Expo, and the last time they ran it was very, very small, so they were really quite stressed at how good we did a job. But what they're actually doing, they're not doing a full-on conference like we had, but what they're actually doing is they're doing a test drive day at Sydney Showground, which is what we know as Olympic Park, where the Olympics were held. So they're going to bring in, they've got a large hall, obviously same sort of set out like our Saturday, where we're going to have lots of stalls, but we're also allowing test drives around where Sydney Showground is, which will just add that extra level to the actual expo. That's really it. There's lots of people already committed, so we're getting pretty close to paying for the expo. Everything will be free for people to attend. So we'll have free speakers as well, just not in the expo style like we had, the conference style like we had on the Friday at our conference. It's not as formal as that. So, but we also have speakers, both from our AEVA club as well as people who are providing, stalls who also want to speak on their chosen topics. So, yeah, book the date. It's the 25th and 26th of October.
I just had a thought.
Oh my God, no wonder you're sitting down.
We should do EV Expo tourism. In other words, we should see if we can get some decent airfares and accommodation organised, and members can fly to visit the expo.
So the hotels locally will provide a discount, and we haven't finished negotiating that. As far as flights go, I'm not sure. Look, Webjet's probably the cheapest anyway, so I don't know. So there was just a couple of other things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now, those of you who are on the Google group have probably already seen some of the links come through for last year's speakers. So John at the back, hi John. He's been very kind to be putting the video and the audio together and cutting it all together into nice chunks that you are happy to watch in one session and that they're not too long and so forth. So he's been doing that, and every time he's completed one, he'll update that and send it through the Google group. And that way we can, anyone can go back and watch it. I think Mike's going to talk to the speakers. I'm not sure. We'll talk about that. The other thing I wanted to, and that will continue happening until he's finished. It's an ongoing.
John's just going to do a quick 5-minute talk about what was involved.
Okay, so John will come up and do a quick talk in a moment. The other thing that I'd just like to sort of gauge a little bit of, see if anyone's interested, is that One of the things I've noticed about the Sydney group is that what they do is they have a meeting, one meeting, and then the next meeting they actually have is more of a social gathering. And somebody threw the idea at me that maybe that's not a bad idea, just to be able to, because the best part of this meeting, I find, for you guys, is when you stand around with a cuppa and you're talking batteries or cars or whatever. So one of the ideas was that maybe the in-between fortnight that we could either meet here or somewhere to make it a bit more social. I just wanted to see, maybe come and talk to me after, let me know what you think, whether that's a good idea. I mean, this is fairly central, we all know where it is, but it doesn't have to be here, it can be somewhere else local where, you know, at the pub or somewhere where we can just sit and talk. So just an idea that we had that, you know, maybe something to explore. Other than that, that's all for me. I will go and get the kitchen ready, but maybe John can come down and have a quick chat. And then if we want, we can put a couple of the YouTube videos on and watch them a bit later. I'll pass the Muppet to you.
So good evening, everyone. For those of you I haven't actually spoken to before, I'm John. I got interested in EVs just probably 4 or 5 months ago, and coupled with that, I had an already existing very strong interest in solar panels, and I think they actually meld together really well. I've ordered a Hyundai Kona, which is expected to arrive on my birthday, 25th of July. So probably for the August meeting, it will be here, and I'll bring it in and let everyone touch and feel it. So, but just wanted to give a quick 5-minute rundown on the videos that are getting uploaded. So I've had a long time to actually sit and watch these, and I have to edit them piece by piece. So Simone and Gary asked me if they could give me this hard drive. I said absolutely. I was keen for any sort of stuff to put on my YouTube channel to, you know, maybe get some content on there. Wasn't really going crazy with the promotion of the YouTube channel just yet, until it got a lot of content on there, and then you could start watching the videos. But I decided to take this hard drive home, and I had a look, and it was from obviously the Brisbane 2018 expo that was held at the Brisbane Exhibition Centre. Now, what I hadn't anticipated was that the files themselves they were actual, as you may have seen, they were in their production company level, but they're in 5-minute chunks, and the audio and the video were separate, and all of the audio and video needed to be converted for me to be able to piece them together. So, and the file size was huge. So one 5-minute video was 4 gigabytes. So what it comes in is an MPX format. I don't want to just go too crazy with all the terminology, but I hadn't seen MPX format before, but I'm assuming that's just what production companies use. I'm assuming it's an extension of MP3, MP4, and there's MPX, right? So I had to use one piece of software to convert the video from MPX to MP4 just for the video, and I had to convert I just used Audacity. Some of you might be familiar with that for recording audio. I used Audacity to convert the audio files to MP3. Then I pieced them all together on software, 5 minutes at a time for about 2 hours, because the other challenge I had was they weren't my recordings, so they were filed according to whoever owned the recordings, so to speak. So it was just, Terry was on this camera, so this was Terry's footage from, 9:45 to 10 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock. And the sessions didn't actually line up with the folders, and okay, you can just imagine, it was actually quite difficult, but it was a mess. And but now that I've done a couple, it's actually coming together really quickly. So I hadn't attended the event, but there were probably, well, there's greater than 20 speakers, probably something like 30 speakers. Some of the people actually, Francesco Di Goro, he comes here quite often. He was one of the speakers. But safe to say, it was over 1 terabyte of data. So once you piece it all together, or you have to render it, and then I go back and edit the rendered version to make it into something suitable for YouTube. Then I've got to render that. Then I've got to upload it to YouTube, and that all takes quite a long time. But happy to do it, and because of that opportunity, Simone has asked me to work on the short clip presentation for the 2019 Expo, and perhaps next month I can give you a sneak peek at that one if it's not already pushed out. But for that one, essentially, I took the camera guys were just walking around, taking pictures of all the bikes and scooters and cars, and just a crowd walking by, and I've taken 20 or 30 minutes and pushed it down into 1.5 minutes of just all the really good stuff. And there's the guy who actually presented the MC, John Harris, he's doing the voiceover, and we're working together just to make a 2-minute snappy little video to promote the Sydney one. So that's really good. So that's about it, unless there's any questions. It's just techie, computer geeky type of stuff. But if any of you aren't really, I do push all the videos onto Facebook and onto the Google group. But if you're not receiving them either in those methods, and you've got some other preferred method, whether it's email or something else, just come and see me, and I can just email you directly, or whatever method you like. But I've already had a couple of nice comments tonight from the people who've seen them, and the quality of the speakers is just phenomenal. Like, absolutely next level, people with 5 degrees and professors, and having watched what I've watched, I've only watched probably 10 hours worth or something, but I know that sounds like a lot, but they're just nailing. They nail all of the subjects.
When they go, like at some point in time, they'll be released over to the AEVA. Are we able to put like a little watermark on there with the AEVA website or something in the bottom corner?
We'll do whatever you like, Graham.
Okay, but it can be added in later, can it?
Well, just at the beginning, when I just introduce the the little pre-video that I do, just explaining that we have these meetings on the front of each video, I have got the AEVA part down the front there, so it's easy to actually do that, and I could just probably render them all again with that little watermark in the bottom corner.
When they
but
get shared, they could be sort of feeding people back to.
It could be, but like it's got a lot. It's got like a minute of me talking about the AEVA at the beginning, and just about in every speaker, it's got a sign saying AEVA in the background. But I can still do it. So whatever you want.
Are you
But,
talking about a link to our website? Sure.
I have seen something on one of the YouTubers that I follow, and he has a little banner thing, and it has like YouTube, Discord, and Twitter, and some other thing, and it just seems to be like a little watermark that you can actually hover over and click on, and it will link you back to other places. If I can find out how to do that, I'll put that on somehow. But yeah, and I guess the other thing is, if any of you would be interested in me coming to chat with you, doing even like a 10-minute video about like your car. I'm really interested in like other people's cars, and like I don't want to be self-absorbed. I want to go and interview people. Any subject about electric vehicles or electric, like bikes or scooters or unicycles or whatever there is. I don't have a limitation, but other than electric vehicles and solar, I'll just try and keep it in that realm, because that's really what the channel's about. So, yeah. All right. thanks very much.
You can come out to the workshop anytime you like.
Yeah, well, I'll do that.
Oh, I'll make sure I'm there this time. All right, okay. So is there anything else anyone would like to bring up? Yes.
Is there going to be any carpool Sunday?
Could be. We can organise it now if you like, or you can organise through the Google group. Yeah. So you're definitely going up, or you're looking to see if anybody else wants a lift, or do you want a lift? The other way around. Do you want a lift? Haven't you got one of them Priuses going yet? No, I'm joking. Yeah, Gary, I don't know. Have you got a car full? Or you? Oh, okay. All right. So maybe just get onto Google group and just put your request there. You know. Okay. Yeah. If I think of it, I'll put a note in there, and people can put their hands up or whatever. You know. So I know Simone and I, we've sort of we're staying there the weekend sort of thing. There's an eco farm I'm trying to get her into so she can play with worms or pigs or chooks or something, I don't know. Wayne's going up, but you're in a motor home, so you're committed for the weekend. So, yeah, so I know. Yeah. Anyway, we'll put it out there and see when anyone can help you with yeah. Yep. Anything else? Looks like it's going to be an early night. So Simone's, what we do for those who haven't been here before, we have a kitchen there. Simone puts out a whole bunch of biscuits, nibblies and cake and coffee or whatever. Just go and help yourself. And like she said, this is probably the best part of the evening where we get to have a bit of a chat about things. Hang on, Harold.
I'll just give a bit of
A what?
3 minutes on the driving.
Oh, okay, but this isn't this is for the microphone for the thing. It's not a speaker microphone. No, you're going to have to use your natural voice.
Only a few minutes.
Okay. You want to hop up or?
Oh, I can't stand up.
You can't? Okay, all
You'll
right.
have to turn round to face the audience.
Not necessary. Can you hear me all?
No.
No, you can't. You have to turn round.
That's for the guy videotaping us at the back of the building.
Oh, it's not an amplifier.
Yeah, no, it's not amplified. But you've got to hang on to it so I can hear you on the video. So, shoot. What would you like to talk about?
Well, people don't seem to believe that it is possible to get more than the range that the manufacturer talks about. In the case of the i3, it's a car which does 215 officially. I've rarely got less than 240 out of it. My extra careful driving, I've had 260. But I'd like to bring the attention, I do a lot of going up to Tambourine and Mount Me and places like this. And when I first did it, I kept coming back, I thought, let's try regeneration. And I started off, set the speed control to about 40. So reasonably faster going down there. And read the units left from Curtis Falls, which most you know, down to Tambourine Village. The first time I did it, they got 12 more in it than I started with.
Okay.
And then, much to my surprise, from there to Beanley, I got a further 5.
Yeah.
And until you start to think about it, Beanley is a long way below the altitude of thing, but you don't realise it.
Yeah.
But I've now found, I used to come to a hairpin bend, of course, you've got to disengage the thing or else you can't get around the corner. So they put your foot on the brake, disconnects your cruise control, then when you get around the corner, bring it on again. And I thought, this is a bit ridiculous, why am I using the brakes? So set it off at 40, come to a hairpin bend, and instead of hitting the brakes, I just click the control down, 10 or 15, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because after you've gone around the corner with the other, you've got to reset it.
Yeah.
So well, that's a bit of a waste of time. So I just reduce the set speed. And by doing that, I now find I can get 17 miles, 17 extra kilometres to go from Curtis Falls to about, which is only less than 10 kilometres.
Yeah.
I end up with 17 more than I started with.
Yeah.
When you get down to Beanley, I ended up with 24 more than we started with.
A bit like the car charging itself.
Well, this but you know, if you think about what you're doing and utilise the regenerative braking to the best, it's amazing what you can do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, don't hang around. I mean, go higher.
Actually, that's probably a good club activity for all of us that have got the regular, like the Konas and the BMWs and the Teslas. We should do that. do an
rally,
economy
do a
run.
We could have a competition, couldn't we?
Yeah, and see, and we mark how many kilometres your thingo says when you start, and how many you got when you come back.
That's right.
And whoever's got the best wins your trophy.
Yeah.
Shake your hand.
Let me get at it, but I can't drive anymore.
Wait a couple of days.
On road efficiency.
There is a problem. I can't enter that anymore. I had a very bad fall, and the doctors won't
Yeah.
pass me anymore.
You need a proxy driver, that's what you need.
I've lost me. You never want to go anywhere.
Or it's just a robo taxi.
Yeah,
I'm a bit fussy about who I let drive, but
yeah.
I've just registered the car for another 6 months. Officially, I don't. My licence runs out 30th of June, but because of my I can't drive the car anyway.
Yeah.
So I just registered it again, and the car will be going to my daughter when she comes back from overseas. And God knows when that will be.
Yeah.
But probably
So you
then.
can pay the rego then.
So that's what's done. But it's worth knowing that you can do a lot better than people think.
Well, it'd be interesting to do actually a bit of a video on that, John, so that we can actually put that up and prove that the regen's worthwhile doing.
One of the things that made me want to start a YouTube channel was Bjorn Tesla, the Norway YouTuber, and he races other people in their EVs, or just to see, like he might run I think he did like a Kona versus I think it was a Model S or something like that. Thanks, Harold. I believe, and like they race maybe 1,000 Ks over just in like 10 hours or whatever it is, and they leave in the morning, and because they've got different charge speeds and different range, it's always interesting because depends on how long you have to sit there charging for to stay in front and that sort of thing. They always end up really close, which is amazing, and I thought that looks like real fun, and I hope I can meet some other EV owners and actually get to do that myself.
Yeah.
I was actually, how many guys or girls here actually own an EV?
Not a production one. Not sure.
So that's quite good. But are they Teslas or BMW?
I think we've got a smattering of everything here. IMEVs and
Ionics?
no.
Cancel for Australia.
Did anyone get any Model 3?
Yeah.
How long till that's coming?
Very soon.
So Gary, another cheap BMW coming on the market soon.
Next month, isn't it?
I've got to see the other one materialise.
Yeah, but that could be, I mean, the idea of the regen competition, that could be a good little PR stunt for the group and get some notoriety, you know.
Start at the top of the menu.
No, start at the bottom, drive up, and then come back down and see.
There is only one snag. You can't do that what I did unless you've got intelligent cruise control. Because most cruise.
But that doesn't matter.
It does because you can't set these.
But if we're getting sort of 30 or 40 cars turn up, they have to figure out their own strategy. That's what it's about. It's about using this, not the, you know what I mean? May the smartest person win.
But if you guys are interested in enjoying like that type of event, then I definitely will be looking to do that. I don't plan to just keep it in the garage and just hidden away.
But we don't need to. We don't need to limit it to just this group. We'll invite all groups, and make a big day of it, you know. Because I don't think a lot of people understand that. I often hear people come down the Puma range and they end up with 30 Ks more than they started with, this sort of thing, you know. And you go, how can that be? And people don't believe it. They think it's just fudging the numbers, you know, but it's not. And if you got 40 cars that all have similar results, you know, it's going to be indisputable, you know.
The other thing is fast charging, or ultra fast charging. Now that the turned all ultra fast chargers into, one of the things that also promoted I wanted to do with the YouTube channel is take it away from Europe and America, where just every video seems to come from. There wasn't a great deal. I mean, from the videos that I've been watching, it looks like we have 10% or 1% uptake in new EV electric vehicles, and which is really, really at the beginning phase, isn't it? And until these models start to come online and become a bit more familiar, as opposed to always 39 to 40% of new car sales. You know? So 0.9%. So we haven't even really started yet. But there's probably 160 to 200 models coming in the next 3 years. It's just people don't really understand what is about to happen.
Yeah.
And I think it's just good to get in early and then maybe promote what's
Well, this is the other thing where we should fit in, is being able to talk confidently to the general public who have no idea what they're doing. I saw a Tesla S for sale. It was a 70. It was just a 70. It wasn't a sport. Just a standard bog. And he was selling for 79,000. Had 700 kilometres on it. And down the bottom, seriously, it's on car sales.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it said there at the bottom, he says, I'm going to go and buy an Audi because this is just too complicated for me. How can an electric car be how can that be complicated?
Where was it, Queensland?
No, he's in Victoria. He's keeping Queenslanders.
Well, there you go, Victorian.
Anyway, so I thought that was amusing, but because I like to keep a look on that, and I thought, gee, I wish I had 79 grand. Here's a car with 700 Ks on, going for a song, you know, and it was an S, it wasn't a 3, so, you know, so he would have paid, what are they, 140 or something like that for, 700 kilometres. He had it for like 6 or 8 months, you know, but it was too complicated. Okay, anyway, yes.
Just on the topic of Toombul and the fast charging stations, they are tritium fast charging units.
Yeah, 350 kilowatt.
And they're
PKs.
But one of them is a Chartamo and CCS.
Oh, okay.
So there was one up there for fast charging.
But you got CCS 1 and 2 or something like that, isn't it? And
there's 3 chargers there, 2 of them are 350, and the third one is 50 kilowatt Chartamo in CCS.
Oh, okay. A mate of mine bought a Kona during the week, and or got it during the week or whatever. And he came in and he was asking all about. He went to the Yarrabilba charger, and the thing wouldn't fit, and that was a Type 1, whereas all the new ones are Type 2. And I didn't know. I don't even know if you can buy an adapter, but apparently I spoke to. Well, Les says don't buy an adapter because tritiums are going to.
Evolution sells all the different
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have to get to that myself. But sometimes like the one you're plugging into is male or female. I'm not really sure. Like, then some of the chargers are not designed to be plugged into. That you have to plug into the charger.
Yeah.
So you need a cable that's the same.
Yeah.
Type 2 on both ends.
That's because knuckleheads are.
Then you need a Type 2 to Type 1, and you need There's actually they're not like it's not like they're like $20 each. Like
No, 350 or so. Yeah. What's up, Jeffrey?
So with the Toombul shopping centre, there is fast charging on the roof.
Yeah.
But the standard charging is still inside the car park, it's still downstairs as well. They haven't taken that away, so it's still. So there's the Schneider and the Tesla charging.
Yeah.
And the Tritium fast charging with through ChargeFox.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them. I just saw it yesterday. And RACQ have got their name all over them.
Yeah.
Which is like, for me, was like, oh really?
Yeah, I know. I went what them myself, but anyway. All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to bring up? Well, I'm dying for a cup of coffee, and Simone's got all the nibblies out. Thank you, Simone. Yeah. All right. So we'll have a nice early evening to get into the nibblies, and please mingle and talk amongst yourselves. That's pretty much it tonight. Okay. Thank you very much.